Good afternoon, Mark Sudduth, HurricaneTrack.com here with your Hurricane HD and Hurricane Pro video blog for the 23rd of June, 2013. Tropics starting to get a little bit more active, but only in the eastern Pacific right now, where we have the third tropical depression of that season located right here, well to the south of Mexico. Very large envelope of energy associated with it, and luckily that's all going to remain offshore. As we see here in the official forecast from the National Hurricane Center, a path off to the northwest away from land. It may generate enough swells and large ocean waves here to bring some surf, increased surf to portions of the Pacific coast of Mexico, so surfers out there might delight in that fact. Here it is, again, a very large area of circulation associated with it. A little bit of cloud cover indirectly on the northern side of the circulation impacting Mexico. Other than that, this will not be a problem. Anybody with cruise plans, vacation plans to Pacific Mexico, don't worry about this system at all. It'll move off to the northwest and then eventually head towards colder water. Right now it's located over here where the ocean heat content is fairly plentiful, but it'll be headed towards this region where there's very little to no ocean heat content, and it'll die a slow death, withering away over the colder waters of the eastern Pacific. And that'll be that. In the Atlantic Basin, yeah, it'll be quick, easy come, easy go for this system with no impact to speak of for land. That's always good, right? The Atlantic Basin is about as empty of cloud cover as you'll see. This is typical for June and even July. Expecting an increase in convection in this region, though, in the next couple of weeks, as a more favorable MJO pulse, or Madden-Julian oscillation, the wet phase of that, comes into the region. Right now we're in the dry phase, and I think that's fairly obvious. Hardly any cloud cover at all in the Gulf, none in the Caribbean, and certainly none out here in the tropical Atlantic, as the sinking motion, that downward phase, to the contrary of the upward motion that we look for, just not existent in the Atlantic Basin. When might it come around? Where the Euro here, this yellow line, the model ECMWF, that's right here. You can see that the MJO currently favors the western Pacific. However, it is forecast to come around into phases 1 and especially 2 here, and this is the area that mainly favors the Atlantic Basin. So once we get into the 1st of July, this goes out to July 7th. I've been talking about this for the last several days. As we end June and get into July here, the Atlantic Basin should become more active, and we'll be watching for that. When the Euro shows this, you have to think that it means business. That's considered one of the better global computer models, and that's pretty impressive that it shows the MJO coming firmly into the phases that support Atlantic tropical cyclone development. So we'll see how that pans out. Luckily, nothing as we start the week ahead. That's good. All right, well, that's it for today. A quick look at what's going on. Again, to recap, Tropical Depression 3 in the eastern Pacific. Not a worry to land areas at all. Maybe some increase in surf along the coast, and as long as people are careful, the surfers can enjoy that, and swimmers, just be a little extra careful out there. Otherwise, no appreciable effects from this system for Mexico, and the Atlantic, of course, remains quiet. Again, I am Mark Sudduth, HurricaneTrack.com, my site. Check it out sometime if you haven't already. And again, it's always my privilege and an honor to do these videos for you on Hurricane Pro and Hurricane HD. I'll talk to you again tomorrow morning.